Today is week 24 of the Dopamine deck, where I have a dog, a baby, and a gigantic deck of cards. And every week we sit on a vintage couch and pick out a card, and then I paint something happy on it. There are 52 cards in a deck, 52 weeks in a year. And this week, Penny, completely unprompted by me, chose the King of Hearts. I don't know how she knew, she just knew. So, in keeping with the theme of, gestures at everything, I decided to completely paint over the king and paint something else that I do believe we need in our country, and that is books. Both of my parents were public school teachers. My mom taught 8th grade English and my dad taught 8th grade science. And yes, that's how they met. Their classrooms were right next to each other. My grandfather was the Commissioner of Education in New Jersey, and despite having so many educators in one family, you might be surprised to learn that I was actually homeschooled for the majority of my life. I went to elementary school through the 4th grade, and in 5th grade, my parents were brave enough to pull me out of school, and my mom became my primary teacher and taught me all the way till I went to college. The world is wildly different now than it was back then, and one of the biggest differences is the internet. When I was in middle school and even into early high school, the internet wasn't as easily accessible as it is now. When I was doing research or homework, I couldn't just look something up on my phone. I needed to go to the library or eventually use dial-up on the big family computer. One of the wisest pieces of advice my mom ever gave me was that the smartest people don't always know the answers, but they know where to look for the answers. And in my house, which was also my school, one of the places that I looked for answers the most was our beautiful, gigantic, and entire shelf devoted to it edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica. These books were filled with history and information and were readily accessible for my brothers and I can't imagine a library or a school or a family or a mind that wants to ban books or ban information or ban people. To quote the musical Hamilton, the world is wide enough. The bookshelves are wide enough if your mind is wide enough.